Hello and welcome back to JimMurphyMP.com, a way of keeping in touch with local news and politics here in East Renfrewshire and beyond. I just come back from Tesco in Barrhead where I met some kids who were enjoying shopping. That's not what every kid says, but these children were doing it for a purpose. They go along to Tesco with their families, do the weekly shop or whatever, and Tesco give them the vouchers. Those vouchers contribute to equipment and other support for their school and schools across the country. So pop along to the local Tesco, and I'm sure other shops perhaps do similar ideas, but this week it's Tesco's turn to get the good publicity for the important work that they are doing in local schools. So look online for the details of that initiative, and there was 4 schools in Barrhead involved in it, and I'm sure there are others across East Renfrewshire also involved. Beyond East Renfrewshire, of course, it was also a very busy week in Parliament with the Defence Review and the Spending Review. Now, David Cameron announced the Defence Review, and where they are doing the right thing, in particular to support what's happening in Afghanistan, we'll support them in doing so, but we're going to keep very close eye on the fact that they honour their commitment to protect every penny piece of frontline support for our men and women in Afghanistan. But where they're doing the right thing about the long-term future security of our country, for example in cybercrime, it's right that we support them as the Labour Party. But when they do things that just seem eccentric and peculiar, like having aircraft carriers, they have no aircraft for a decade, it's right that we ask questions, because how have they guaranteed security and safety of our country for 10 years when there are no aircraft to fly off our aircraft carriers? But I think I'll return to that as Shadow Defence Secretary in the weeks and months ahead. It was also the Spending Review by George Osborne, and like I've said before, that this cabinet is a cabinet full of people who just don't understand Britain, don't understand Scotland. It's stuffed full of millionaires. The minority of them actually aren't millionaires, so they're entirely out of touch with how real people live. And I know that many people in the public think politicians generally are out of touch, but this lot are kind of the cream of the crop when the majority of them are millionaires. Now, that's why they get to their position on child benefit. For them, it's probably a luxury, but the fact is that they're planning to take away child benefit from families where the net income, the take-home income, is £33,000. Now, if you've got a family of 3 or 4 children, regardless how big your family is, but 3 or 4, it's a sizable amount of money towards the family income. And for these kind of pretty prosperous, very rich actually, politicians in the cabinet, it's probably pocket money for them. But for very many people, including many hundreds of people here in East Renfrewshire, dozens of whom have got in touch with me, then it's the wrong thing to do. More widely on this, it's now clear, an independent report will show this, that the spending review that they've announced hurts, yes, the very top 2%, I'm told, so the very top 2%, but more generally the poorest people in our society, the poorest families who are struggling, even in normal times, particularly during the recession, and are going to fare much worse as a consequence of what the Tories and Liberals have announced. Now, I've been on telly talking about this week, and sometimes they said, sorry, there's no Tory politician here, we've got a Liberal Democrat. Like, I don't see the difference between these two parties anymore. The Liberal Democrats just seem to read out whatever the Tory party tells them to read out, and the opinion polls show that they're starting to disappear as a political force in Britain, but they've got no one to blame but themselves. They said there were going to be a break on Tory policies on the economy, and it seems like they're an accelerator on unfair policies that the Tories are announcing. Anyway, that's enough for now on the spending review. Last thing to mention is it's Wear It Pink Day on the 29th of October to raise money and awareness of breast cancer. So whatever you can do to support that phenomenal initiative, please do so. And I'll look myself as what I and others can be doing locally. Thanks very much. Bye bye.